try and do it inverted going forward. Start a little earlier, get done, do this, and then do PrepperNow, and then go on to the crisis report. So some things will be kind of ahead of the game, but this way I think it'll be easier for everybody. And whoosh, we'll get rolling with it, get everybody in and seeing what they're doing. It is not looking good. And there's multiple stories. They're going to be about this. We are sending it Bent Wing Brewer. You are correct. But yeah, things are not looking good. And there's a little bit more than just this. We're going to do the usual flow of these, 20, 30-minute lives with things in front of you. And the first thing I want to talk about is the credit card debt surging to another record high. And this isn't from a few months ago. This is basically, I think, today. And the credit card debt is really getting out of control, and because people are broke. Okay, I mean, there's just no other way to put it. So, fresh records, $1.17 trillion. I remember when crossing the Rubicon of $1 trillion was considered crazy, and now it, 1.17 trillion is where we're at. An increase of 24 billion from the previous quarter. According to the report, it marks the highest level on record in Fed data since 2003. So that's a lot. 2003. So what does this mean? Well, it means people are putting credit on all kinds of stuff. Look at all the things they got there that they're taking at this whatever kind of store it is. Let me see if it says what kind it is. Nope, it doesn't. Let me see if I can see it in the back. Nope. But anyway, they got Discover, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, PayPal, all the big ones, and then some. Because basically, people are broke, and they need to finance things on credit. And a lot of things, they talk about all this credit that they have out there. This does not include, unless they've updated it, and I don't think they have, it does not include all the apps and the micro lending that is out there now. If you're unfamiliar with micro lending, it basically is a way for lending money to people through like little apps, or people will take from their own, money, and they'll dip into it and they'll loan it out and make money off that. This does not include any of that. So that means that the 1.17 is actually low. There's more than that. So total household debt, 17.94 trillion. Balances on mortgages, almost 13 trillion. Auto loans, almost 1.6 trillion, or over 1.6 trillion. And student loan, over 1.6 trillion. Americans own a lot of debt, for lack of a better way of putting it. We have some debt too. We have a vehicle. We have a addition, and my wife's remaining student loan. So she went to medical school, so she had a lot of student loans. We're about 90% through it. We just paid off our shed. Just paid off all of our stuff. I buy things on PayPal because it's 6 months, same as credit. But I try to pay it off within about 2-3 months. So, we use credit, but we don't use credit. I use it, but I try to use it in a smart way. I have a credit card, but I only use it for groceries, and then I pay it off immediately on the day that it's due, which I think is the 27th of the month. So try to be smart. Basically, when we're doing the credit thing, we try to be smart. But unfortunately, a lot of people get behind. It just is what it is. It says here inflation rises 2.6% in October, so you can just add 10% to that, so probably 12.6 really, at least year over year. Inflation is really hurting people. I mean, people, they sit back and they wonder what's going on with all this. Why are we here where we have a second Trump presidency? It's basically because people are broke and they're looking for change. The current administration didn't do it for them. You know, it doesn't mean that people are not going to get a little nutty if their preferred candidate won, like Kamala. But this is all explained. It's all basically people aggravated with higher cost and lower living standards. The abilities for raising our wages. Inflation's gone up and our wages have not gone up. So delinquencies have eased a little bit to 8.8%, down from 9.1%. That's still extremely high. Auto loans worsened, rising by 0.2 and 0.3. So there's a lot of people out there that are just having problems. It is what it is. They're just having problems. So I'm going to need a new vehicle probably in a couple few years. I drive a 2008. So, it's still a great car. It does exactly what I need it to do. And, I got no shame in my game. I don't care that it's not some brand new beauty. I need the thing to take me to back and forth to work for a good gas mileage, and it does all that. So, my wife has got the family truckster. We got that about a year ago. So we got to pay on that for a few years, 4 years. But it's manageable. That's basically one of our only debts. So don't get into credit card debt. Don't get into this kind of stupid debt, okay? And also come back to reality. I was talking about how, people are not happy, and that's why they've decided to take a change in leadership. Well, we know that there's going to be a bunch of people that are going, fingers in their ears going, la, la, la. They don't want to hear what's going on. They've basically gone crazy. We've all seen the videos of people screaming into their microphone or their telephones. Well, good news, folks. These people can now take a escape from reality cruise. So cruise ship is allowing all these people to escape reality. Florida-based cruise line VIBA Residences unveiled a new 4-year cruise package called Skip Forward, offered to anyone suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. This is great. Part of the Tour La Vie program, or Tour La Vie, I don't know if that's how it is. Might be. I don't know if it's Espanol or not. Starting at $40,000 per year. So if you have grown fat off of the government currently and you're kind of angered that you're going to have to rough it for 4 years, maybe you're in the defense contracting, or maybe you're a DEI consultant, and you have an extra $40,000 a year, and those people definitely do. You can roll out for a continuous global adventure for up to 4 years. You rent out your house, you get on a boat, and you float to freedom because, we have Adolf Part 2 coming in, right? That's they keep telling us. So, 1 year escape from reality, a 2-year midterm selection, 3-year everywhere but home, and the 4-year skip forward. So very good for these people. 425 ports across 140 countries, allows voters to escape chaotic American politics. That's awesome. So Trump wins, and you're butthurt from it. Get on a boat and go tour the seas. Go on that 4-year skip forward one, and skip forward, skip out. In fact, skip away from all of us. It's probably better for all of us. So, Florida Cruise Company offering a 4-year escape. So if you are, like this lovely lady here, and you, I want to play this, but I don't want to play this because it's probably going to be screaming. Here, I'll turn the thing down. So there we go. Let's just watch the visuals of this young lady. Okay, she's speaking Wokenese. Okay. This guy's going to make us a song. There she is. She's obviously very woke. Okay. She's crying into her pillow, and this guy is doing the happy dance. I like it. That's me. I do not look like that guy, but I like his dance. I can dance like that. Yeah, this is what the crazy people do. Here's another one. Let's do it again. There we go. Look at this guy. I've seen this one before. Can you imagine? Can you imagine screaming like that? Like being so mad at politics, you have to get on your phone and let the world know just like the level of butthurt. This lady takes a cake. She is the new, like the lady in the green jacket after 2016 that's been the meme for years. That girl's now the meme. Yep, it's not a prank, honey. It is real. DJT is your new president for quite some time. So there you go. You can roll to Canada, but Canada might be offering some things that you really do want to refuse. Yeah. Have you considered it? Moving on. Let's talk about real stuff. Dockworkers Union. This is one that was in the, sorry about that. Yeah, that's right. This was one that was in the news about a month ago. You remember? They had the Dockworkers Union, and then, of course, old Joe and friends said, hey, we have this terrible strike that's on the horizon that's going to basically wreak havoc down on us. There's already like a port strike kind of going on in Canada. But yeah, this dock workers strike thing is, it's got the potential to do a lot of really nasty things with our stuff right before, well, not right before Christmas, because basically they're going to resume their strike on the 15th of January. So basically they did what, Washington always does. Instead of dealing with a problem, they basically said, we'll push this off until after the election, and whoever is in office or is about to be inaugurated can deal with all this bull snatch. And here we are. So, yeah, this is the port strike. Part of the problem is the dock workers know that there's a thing called automation that is coming. And automation, basically what they do is they sit back, and this is what technology is going to do to a lot of people. They sit back and they get on computers and they use little joysticks and stuff, and they get all the containers off the ships, and they do it. And it used to be that human beings do it. Well, now they don't have that. Now they've got automation. They've got robots. They've got cranes. They've got all kinds of stuff that can do it for them. So essentially, these people's jobs in the not so distant future is really going to be rendered useless. And there's a lot of them. So this could be a problem. These people are fighting for their future. Meanwhile, the future is technological. And these people are probably not going to make it, to be honest with you. They're going to probably have a lot of problems that they will have to move on from this job from. They're not going to be able to sustain as dock workers because, well, robots have taken their job, or at least will in the not-so-distant future. So the union has said that they have walked away from the negotiating table because evidently they feel that they're not being listened to. Concerns about automation, and a mid-January deadline to finalize a deal and prevent this strike. And the strike is going to really wreak havoc. So, they're in talks, and the ILA union is refusing to agree to the addition of any new technology at East and Gulf Coast ports. So you can see where the problem is here. For us to advance with all this and get into the 21st century, we need to have robots. We need to get, automation. This is just an inevitable thing. We're creating technology that is going to eventually take people's jobs away. Okay? And these people are holding on to dear life to make it so they don't lose their jobs, or at least can maybe find something else. I don't know. It's kind of like the medallion workers in New York. Uber comes along. It's a new technology. People start doing ride shares. People are working for Uber as a side hustle, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, in New York City, you've got all these people that have spent these copious amounts of money on being cab drivers, because you have to buy your way into it and get these medallions. And then they get there and they do it. And then all of a sudden, this new technology comes out and make it so taxi cab drivers are obsolete in New York City and other big cities. And you're sitting there holding a medallion that's you've spent a lot of money on, and it's not going to do anything. It's not going to get any money for you. Well, technology is doing the same thing here. Highlands Husky, thank you so much. Technology is real. I'm actually leading a talk for my professional space on AI, because about a year ago I said this thing is coming, and it's going to be. I either learn it or I'm either ahead of it or I'm not. And everybody else I work with is not really into it, and I got into it. And I'm using it, and it's making my job easier for creation of materials and other things. And I'm going to be leading a talk to other educators about this. And the reason why is because I see that this is probably going to be a thing, and you might as well deal with it. So these workers are not dealing with it. They're not, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for them, but it is what it is. Technology comes along, and technology replaces people. Think of, they said... people that were driving horses and buggies, the people that created whips for buggies back 140 years ago, whatever the heck it was. Automobiles come along. They said these people are going to be put out of business. Well, here we are. They are out of business. But guess what? Things change. People went other areas. So these people are holding on to something that is inevitably not going to be there. And it's going to affect us. So what does that mean to you and I? Well, if we see a strike, and that's the potential here. If we see a strike, all HE double hockey sticks is going to break loose for our goods and things coming into the country, and of course probably anything going out as well. So it says our employers who are raking in billion-dollar profits annually have exposed their ultimate goal of wanting to eliminate as many ILA jobs as possible and replace our ILA longshore workers with robotic equipment. That's exactly what's going on. I put myself through college bartending. I bartended for a long time. I was in the restaurant business for a long time, and I jokingly said one time to another bartender, one day in the future, this job is going to be done by a robot or a machine or something. You're going to go up to a bar, you'll put your credentials in or your card or your ID or whatever. You'll order a drink, and the thing will make the thing right in front of you, and it'll come out perfectly. And there'll be no graft. There'll be no theft from bartenders, nothing like that. It'll be seamless. And you mark my words, that's coming. There will be automated bars in the not-so-distant future. My son came out and said, "Hey, Daddy, I want to go to the moon." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "How do I do that?" And I said, "Well, honestly, you get really good grades and you do well in school and you become an astronaut," right? Being honest. But I told him, I said, in your lifetime, he's only 6 years old, I said, we probably will be on the moon. I don't know that for fact, but I bet a little bit of coin on it that we're going to, be getting there at some point. And probably in his beautiful little lifetime, he might see that. So if he wants to be an astronaut, get good grades, do what you're supposed to do, get the stuff done, get your education, and, become a solid human being. But this thing could really wreck our incoming, I was trying to think, imports and stuff. So this, of course, is just talking about the 45,000 dock workers who want a 62% pay raise. So tentative deal they have right now, 45,000 dock workers would see a 62% pay raise over the life of the next 6-year contract. Union and port employers will have to reach an agreement on port automation, other outstanding issues, ratify a tentative deal by January 15th. I don't think they're going to make it. I just don't. So they're $20 an hour, and they top out at $39 an hour. That's about 81K annually. If you all know, 81K doesn't really get you much anymore. 6 or more years of service. So, they're making some money, but if you're in New York and New Jersey, like it's saying here, that's that's nothing. So, these people will eventually be replaced. I don't know. I'm more worried about what's going to happen to all of our goods if they do, not make it. And judging by these numbers and everything, it doesn't look good. So this thing has been going on for a long, for a while now. And, they do what they used to do. It said, you're saying it'll cripple you. No, you're going to cripple all of us. You're going to cripple the people that are actually relying on the goods and things that come in. So hopefully there's not a strike. And speaking of which, this is one of the main things we're going to be talking about on the crisis report tonight. Major policy shift. Biden has authorized Ukraine's use of missiles to strike targets deeper inside of Russia. This is a red line for Mr. Putin. Okay? So, as people are sitting there having their little 10-day honeymoon and totally stoked that they see the clouds parting and everything is going to get better, Orange Man Bad is coming to town and people are singing on high, angels are singing on high, or Satan, depending if you're one of the Donald J. Trump is the Antichrist people. But a lot of people are excited. Now, if you've been around here, you know me. I honestly, again, speed bump. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a reprieve, but the whole Isht show is rolling down the tracks, and there's a big old wall waiting for us at the end of it. And eventually, in the not-so-distant future, we're going to smack right dab into that thing and splatter against the rocks of reality, which is that America is broke and there's not much we can do about it. And no party is going to go in there and fix it. So, I don't know if Orange Man Bad is the Antichrist. I don't know if he's just a rich dude who has claimed power and a jerk face, or, I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But, yeah, all contingencies are on the table. Again, I'm not going to act like I know the future. I'm just going to deal with reality. So this whole thing is kind of a problem because a few months ago, Putin basically said, if you do this, this is going to be World War III. So these capability, I've heard 250 kilometers up to 500, depending. So not to give too much away from what's going to be coming up in the crisis report. Basically, the ATACMSs are going to be allowed. The Storm Shadow, which is the British one, and then the Scalp, I think it's called, the French, they go much longer. They go 400 to 500 kilometers, depending, right? And one can't reach, the ATACMSs can't reach Moscow. However, the Scalp and the Storm Shadows, those are within range of Moscow. And basically, Putin said, as it says right here, we will use nuclear weapons if a mass enemy missile or UAV is launched towards Russia or when these weapons cross into Russian territory. Okay, and that was not so long ago. So these discussions have been going on. There's another report where many more North Koreans are going to be entering into the fold. So as it says here, they suggest that North Korea could eventually send as many as 100,000 troops to Russia. There's already about 12,000. Now, again, these are their numbers. I'm not there, so I can't say yes. So if someone comes in and says, no, they're not there. I don't know that for a fact. I keep all options on the table. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's an embellishment. Maybe they want war. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm just telling you what's out there. I'm going to let you decide. You're smart. So Joe is basically a lame duck. He's got a couple months left. He's got 2 months left. And, if this really gets rolling, and this is the problem, it very well could, this could be a major issue that ushers in an escalation in fighting. Now, I'm not going to sit here and scream from the mountaintops that the nuclear sniffers are out and Putin's in his bunker and, you know, the missiles are launched and all that. I'm not going to do the hyperbole thing. I don't like that look on this channel. I like reality. But I will say there are 2 months left. And the people in power do like a nice emergency because it tends to give them more power. As I see the Marfugel thing drop down saying he's about to start, as all the big doomer prepper channels start to come out and say that the unthinkable is happening. Yeah, this is a problem. So it says we will use nuclear weapons if mass enemy missile or UAV is launched towards Russia. Weapons cross into Russian territory. There he is. That's from a couple months ago. Joe said he wasn't going to do this. They kept saying they weren't going to do this. And now here we are. Lame Duck Joe has got, 2 months left. And all of a sudden it's like, let's escalate the crap out of this. So I've been reporting on the crisis report that Russia has been moving pretty handily. Some people believe that. Some people don't. Some people think it's a little bit more back and forth. Or maybe they think that Russia is not doing so hot. I don't know. Again, I'm just taking reports and fog of war. We say that all the time on Crisis Report, and we say that here. There is the fog of war. The fog of war is that both sides are going to do whatever they can to get the upper hand, and if that's an information war, then that's what's going to happen. So, Truth Seeking said the unthinkable started happening in 2020 when people clapped and cheered for Trump's just 2 weeks. Yeah, I know. We all said that. He was in charge at that time, so you're not incorrect. Some people would say that was a health directive and he was just following because he thought it was going to help him. I don't know. We can look back. It was all crappy. My channel was started on the BS of that whole thing, so I'd rather have Trump in than Kamala right now. And my fear is that Kamala and Biden are knowing that their power is going to be going away, and they're going to say, let heavy strikes go into Russia, and Z-Man's going to go for it. You know, it already said Reuters reported this, and you'll know here in a moment, and when I go on the crisis report, which will be following this directly, that basically Reuters said in the next few days they're going to start striking pretty far into Russia. And that's not saying it's going to be Moscow, but Moscow could very well be part of this. There was major UAV attack on energy and such in Kiev yesterday and today. And so, you know, capital of Kiev, well, why not capital of Russia? These people, I think there's a desperation. That's my feel. I could be wrong, but I think there's a desperation. And I think the desperation is that, you know, we need to do everything we can now. Orange Man Bad is coming to town, and, you know, we might not get the funding. We might not have the backing, you know. And then NATO is over there, or the European countries are sitting there saying, uh-oh, Donald's not going to back us up. Russia is going to go crazy, and they're going to start to attack. They're going to go after Estonia, and they're going to go after Latvia, and all the other countries that are freaked out, and, you know, towards Russia and the European continent. So, you know, they're making plans, and they're trying to do everything they can to basically stay above the fold. So if this does escalate, and it is a very big potential that it might, it could be a real problem. It could, play out all the stuff. I'm not going to go hyperbolic prepper channel on you, but imagine in the next 2 months, there is a major escalation and NATO gets involved with Russia. What do things look like? What if there is strikes on decision-making centers, as Russia calls it, in Europe, you know, like Berlin? Totally possible. They've stated this. They've warned this. And it is possible. So, I don't know. Friends, if you're just getting here, if you're new to the channel or whatever, probably not. They've kind of chucked me into the corner as of late. Probably pissed off to the way the election went. Hit that like button and subscribe. Darken out the bell. Come on out here. Again, I just try to keep it real and, you know, tell you about all the stuff going on. And there's a lot of problems. And this is one of them. This is what we're going to be talking tonight on the crisis report. So almost 300 in here, 74 likes. If I could get you to hit that like button, and if I could get you to subscribe before you leave, that'd be great. If you aren't, and if you are, thanks for being here. Thanks to Highlands Husky and others, all the people that are my wonderful members. Roger McKeon, keeping the lights on. Definitely keeping the lights on over in the crisis report. Very important. I think there's a lot of people that are kind of sitting there going, everything is hunky-dory, and it's just not. Look what we covered tonight. Let's see. Fed data. Yep, people are delinquency on there. Card notes and credit card debt is surging, and we're over $1 trillion. Okay. People are trying to escape reality, and they are getting offered to go on a multi-year escape because they can't just deal with regular old crap. And then you tack that on to the Dockworkers, basically freaking out that they're not going to get their pay because technology is real and it's coming in to take people's jobs. And they're going to strike over it potentially on January 15th. And if that happens, well, then a lot of our goods and services are going to be slammed shut. We're not going to be getting the imports that we usually get, and that could really be a problem. And then, of course, a little switching the policy from the old Joe. They're going to allow Z-Man, who definitely would never use anything, from a weapons base to cause havoc on the European continent and escalate things in the SMO there in Ukraine. So, everything's fine. Everything is great. So, yeah. Hopefully you're smarter than that and you're still prepping and you're doing what you need to do. But, folks, we're going to take it on over to the crisis report. I appreciate you coming here. You know what to do. Hit the buttons and stuff. Thanks to my mods. Thanks for being here. And, we'll see you over there. If you don't know where that's at, it's youtube.com/@crisisreport. And I will tell you the most comprehensive news on YouTube in about 30 minutes plus. And you will know everything that's going on. And we will get a deep dive into this new authorization of Ukraine using U.S. missiles to hit deep inside targets in Russia, which is a problem. All right, friends, God bless. And we'll see you on the next one.